Hi friends, today I'm going to show you a comparison between these three brush pens, which are really large brush pens. There are different sizes of brush pen tips, and sometimes you'll see me use a really small one. Most often I use a medium size, but I do have a few larger ones that I wanted to share with you in case this is your preference. Sometimes it can be harder as a beginner to learn lettering with a brush pen this large because the tips are larger and a lot more flexible, and they can be a little bit more difficult to control than if you were to be using a small brush pen like this. But there are a lot of good qualities about having a larger brush pen, so I wanted to show you a few of them that I have and how they work. So the first one I wanted to show you is this Pigma BB. I got this in a 3-pack, and this is the largest size. The BB, I believe, is the size. And this is what the brush pen tip looks like. This one is really flexible and it does write pretty large, but you can also get pretty thin upstrokes. I also like the color of this brush pen because it is very dark and black, and sometimes brush pens kind of turn a gray color, but this one is nice and black. This one is really flexible, and as you can see, my pen, when I push down on it, is almost turning sideways, and that is a really large stroke that you can get. It's hard to keep it flat on the tip here like that. When I push, it wants to use more of this middle part of the marker versus the tip, which creates that kind of a look. So I'm not pushing as hard as I can. I'm just trying to push lightly and then lighten up on my upstrokes. But I really do like this pen, and it gives a really nice finished result as well. The next one I'm going to show you is this Sharpie brush pen, and I've seen these often in packs, but I did find the single ones at Michael's if you don't want to purchase a whole pack. I think it was like $3.50 or something like that. But I didn't ever want to purchase a whole pack. The reason is because these write really nicely, and I really think they're a little bit easier to control than the Pigma. But they do smell just like a Sharpie, and I do not like writing with stinky markers if I'm going to be lettering for a long time. I don't know, it just gives me a headache. So they definitely smell like a typical Sharpie marker. You'll also see that this has a little bit of bleeding compared to the Pigma. I don't know if this will focus for me, but you can see that there's definitely bleeding around here, and I am using marker paper today. I'm using this Kansan marker paper, this 18-pound, and I do still really like my HP Premium Choice LaserJet paper, but I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, and it's just harder to bring loose leaf paper, so I purchased just a pad to bring with me when I'm traveling. So this is still bleeding even on the marker paper. So it's a really nice one to practice with. You get really nice thicks and thins, but for a finished product, you do get a lot of bleeding. So that is a downside to this Sharpie marker, but it is really nice to practice with, and you do get some really nice strokes with this one. So the next one that I'm going to show you is this Winsor & Newton watercolor marker, and this color is Hooker's Dark Green. This is the only marker by them that I have, but I do really like this one, and so I'm going to have to try out some more. This one is very pigmented. As you can see, it goes from being super dark to super light. I tend to like brush pens that feel like they have a lot of ink on them. I know it just depends on your style. There are some brush pens that leave like streaky lines, and people do like that, and it's just a different look. But I personally prefer one that's got really solid color and that I know isn't going to look like dried out or streaky. So this one is perfect for me. It's really pigmented and really juicy, and you just get a lot of ink when you use it. You can push down really hard, and as you can see, it's still working on the tip here and not bending down to the middle part of the brush. So that's a bonus for me, but I'm still able to push pretty hard to get those thick lines. And I love how they're darker and then lighten up as well. So that is a comparison of writing with the three. I don't have a black one of these, but let me just show you the tips of each of them. And as you can see, the Sharpie and the Winsor & Newton are very, very similar. So these write pretty similar, but you get a different look with this one. As you can see, it's still kind of drying, but it's just a really nice clean look, whereas the Sharpie does have a little bit of bleeding. And it also looks a little bit more matte, I guess. It's just not quite as shiny and doesn't have the shine of this one and this one. So it is really just like using a Sharpie with a brush pen tip, which is totally what I would expect. But just be aware of that it does have a little bit different look than these two. And as you can see, the Pigma brush, which is this one here, is a little bit longer and a little bit more narrow. And like I said, it does feel a lot softer, so when you push, you're not really pushing and using that tip, you're kind of drawing from the middle part of the marker. So just be aware that if you're someone like me who pushes really hard, you might get some of this going on right here. So you just have to train yourself to not push as hard, and then you can get the look that you're going for, like a typical brush pen. So this is me not pushing very hard here, and that one looks really nice. But it does have a really nice finish, so I still really like this marker. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions about these markers or any others questions, just leave them in the comments box below. And I will be doing a similar video in the future for smaller size markers that I like and use, so be on the lookout for that. And if you would like more short videos throughout the week, you can follow me along on Instagram. It is just at howtohandletter. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.